All right, good morning, guys. Quick sound check. Let me know if you can hear me. Sound check on 1, 2. Good morning. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm kind of taking it slow. Kind of taking it slow here. I want to see ultimately what we're going to end up trying to do today. This action has been a little bit funky here so far this morning. We got a pretty decent move over the last like 30 minutes or so. Oh, he's on the mic right now. I didn't know he was on the mic right now. That changes things a little bit. Yeah, we might have to honestly wait for that to kind of conclude. Let me double check. Make sure I didn't miss anything else for today. Yeah, the only thing we have is the pending home sales later, which isn't really a thing. Well, it's a thing. It's just not a red impact news folder. So I'm kind of watching. We've got the Russell here. 2678.80s is kind of a line in the sand for us today. I think we can probably hold this and push up into 2690.60s. The question is really whether we can get something that makes sense for, kind of like a 12-point target. Like if we can get a 3 or 4-point stop in it, then I think that makes sense. We did kind of open just right beneath it, so I wouldn't mind seeing potentially a pullback here to like 74s and change maybe. Kind of see what markets are doing at that point. Let that kind of shake out. In terms of the S&Ps, everything else, it's like, all right, we kind of popped up, through these overnight highs. We're kind of doing our thing here at the moment. There's nothing above for a long ways, 250 points for the S&Ps here, up at 404s. We've still got room to go. What I think is most likely the case today is that we try and make a run for that 24 941 quarters below. That would make the most sense to me, is that we see that. Russell's trying to hold that level here still. Kind of thought we'd get a little bit more of a push down. And then in the Dow, it's kind of the same thing. Like we're at a point where Dow really broke down yesterday, and if it reverses today, like that'd be cool, but I don't know if that's necessarily in the cards here or not. So I'm cautiously open to longs, but I think we have to go lower first for those to really be viable. But I also don't want to necessarily just short right here for the move down into 941s. Like I think we need a reason. We need something to kind of give us the go ahead for that, which at the moment there's no real levels, there's nothing here, so it's like we kind of need a divergence. We need something additional really to kind of make that happen. So I'm kind of stuck at the moment. I do think the Russell making that move into 2690s could give us a bit of a catalyst that the move there is done, but at the same time, like if we get through that, there's nothing but really air above for the Russell, which would be kind of surprising, but it could certainly do it, especially if we manage to hold up and NASDAQ gets this drop, this next 200-point drop, and Russell manages to hold. That would be interesting. In terms of metals, metals got an insane move overnight. More specifically, in gold rather than silver. So silver here is kind of a laggard in terms of the metals at the moment. Basically slightly red here at the moment. So can we hold this area or not becomes the question. NASDAQ new lows there. Russell may be coming down and kind of trade those 74 areas. But yeah, gold with an insane overnight move again here, essentially out of nowhere. So I'm kind of stuck pretty much across the board is the end conclusion there, and I'd rather just let this kind of trade through, see if we can get some data on the charts here, and then look to go from there. So that's my initial game plan here. You could make an argument for the Dow. I don't think it's the argument to be had. It's a really tough fade. That I don't think it's a battle that I want to fight. Russell just came down and traded 74.80s here. Dow's trying to take shape here, like it wants to rally. NASDAQ coming off that new low there. Decent little bounce there out of NASDAQ now. Russell's tough. Looks like it does want to make that move, but I mean, we traded down in the 74.80s, which was kind of the area we were thinking. But now it's just a little bit too too big on the risk reward or on the stop to justify risk reward. If we could come back and retest the open and the level without going through highs, it might be worth it. Gold getting a decent little bounce here now. Back at opening print. Someone brought up Nat Gas today. Nat Gas with a massive move overnight as well. 22%, like 87 cents here. Russell just making its push. I still would be okay with a Russell long if it presents some sort of small buy setup or something with room to 2690s, and maybe we hold it. Like that's the bigger picture attraction to the Russell, but if we don't get that, then it's not as interesting. NASDAQ coming pretty much right back down. NASDAQ failing that rather aggressively, actually. NASDAQ literally coming right back down. Gold's kind of chilling right here at its opening print. 69.60s. I don't necessarily know that there's anything I can do with it, but if you want gold long, giving it that opportunity to hold opening print and try and push, probably not a terrible idea. They might need more time to digest this gap, though, is the only thing. NASDAQ trying to rally right back up now. S&P is right back up as well. Back up through the open. There's like 200 points that the NASDAQ can rally here. I don't know what this is though, like straight back to opening print there is not. I'm like half tempted to buy it and give it 50 points just to see if it does want to rip, but at the same time it's like, is it worth that either? There is a technical divergence there. Let's see if we can't do something interesting here with the NASDAQ in a minute. Let that chart develop just a bit more maybe. Nasdaq trying to maybe do a little something there. We opened at negative 1,500 yesterday on ticks. Today we opened positive 1,300 on ticks, which is kind of crazy considering we really didn't gap all that far. I'm going to keep an eye right here though on Nasdaq potentially like kind of pulling back under opening print, maybe to like 187s or so, something like that. And we can maybe try and play a little shimmy back to the upside. There is a divergence in place for longs. We're maybe going to try and establish a divergence for shorts. So in the event that happens, probably not the greatest idea to just fade divergences in both directions, but Nasdaq not coming back for it. It said nope. Said nope. Oh, no wonder I couldn't hear shit. The volume's down. S&P's new highs, Nasdaq new highs, Russell new highs, Dow new highs. See if Russell can go get those 90-60s here. Or if we're just gonna end up like establishing a range here and then that'd be obnoxious. I'm gonna trade with inside that for the day. But I will say there's some impressive strength here at the moment kind of coming out of markets. So Nasdaq looks to be stalling a bit here at the moment though. Impressive strength, but stalling. Nasdaq pushing. We didn't get the entry that we really wanted there for Nasdaq, which is super unfortunate because it's now actually making a pretty decent move. Pulled back to 85.30s there for the Russell. NASDAQ still has another 150 points to go. That's the kicker. The dilemma I'm having right now is like, we don't really have an entry here. We were kind of stalking like a aggressive, more tighter entry off of opening print once we pushed back up through, but we didn't get it. I've been stalking the Russell, and it's like, if we get up through 90.60s, then yeah, we've got a ton of room we could potentially move, but at the moment, we're not getting up through there. And Russell's kind of like lagging the pack a little bit here now, specifically on this most recent little pullback just now. Do we use that pullback as a buying opportunity? Or is that foolish? NASDAQ here, straight from opening print, what was that, 80 points? That's unfortunate. Real unfortunate there. S&P is kind of same thing, 51s to 71s, about 20 points so far. We kind of look like we're gonna go hit those upper areas. 68.95s for S&Ps and 25.404s for NASDAQ. Dow kind of coming back down a bit. Gold did fade, and silver faded there as well. We were what, 7 ticks away from trading those 90.60s here for the Russell. That'd be a little unfortunate if we don't. I mean, I guess if we fail that, yeah. I don't think that's the case, but there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of back and forth decisions today. The only one that's for sure is that NASDAQ didn't give us an entry right around opening print, which is very unkind. There you go, Russell. Come on back up here. I'm interested in Russell up over 90.60. Like I'm not interested in a failure from there. I would love to see some sort of rally through, pullback, 1, 2, 3 type of deal, 15-minute hourly, something along those lines. From there, I think would be fun. If it goes back to last week's highs, we're talking 2705. So I think there's probably 15, 20 points there. More to the upside if we can get through that. NASDAQ still acting like it wants to continue to push. We got another 100 and a couple of points to go for that to get to where it needs to go. Or wants to go, maybe, I should say. '90/60s traded to the tick here for the Russell so far. I want to see it push through. I don't want to see it just tick off that. Hold on, give me like 2 minutes though. I got to tinkle. All right, we're back. This is a very unfortunate move, and then I was being a little bit too cautious on entries down there at opening print after that weird little divergence and immediately rally back, but it doesn't seem like it matters. Like, market wants to go get those 404s. Russell's pushing up through here, these 90/60s, so we're going to be looking for entries still. But now the entry criteria is going to change up a little bit. Anybody anybody catch this? Like, I'm hoping somebody did, right? You're in the Russell off 2-minute buy. Nice. Good work. I'm starting to wonder. If the best trade of the day was that NASDAQ move. It was a very weird. It was a very weird like way in which that kind of formed. Like we had the initial rally, or well, we sold off initially, rallied it back up through opening print, couldn't really quite break the highs. S&Ps did, and then we get smacked right back down to the downside, and immediately 2-minute bar reverses that right up to the open. And I remember saying, I was like, I kind of feel like I should buy this and just give it a 50-point stop. And we got 200 points worth of room to target. Like that technical stop would have been like 70 points. But I just said 50 points because that would get us kind of back down under the first little section of that little 5-minute area there. So that would be up about 3 Rs right here, which is unfortunate, but it didn't give the actual entry there. Russell's trying to push a little bit. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, NASDAQ. Oh, Russell. Russell's not going to give an entry. It's one of those. It's one of those days. I see it. No, Russell might still do something here. I think we could see a decent pullback to the level here in the Russell because I think NASDAQ wants a little bit of a pullback here. Dow's still trying to kind of push up through here a bit. But I think we might see, we might be able to see a little bit of a pullback on the way to that 404s for NASDAQ. So we'll see which one makes more sense from a risk reward standpoint, whether it ends up being Russell on a pullback or if NASDAQ gets the pullback and sets something up. But I think we just have to be patient here in order for that to happen. AMD, absolutely. I think, Osborne, did you mention that earlier? AMD? Oh, what's up, dude? Well, let me do that right now. The Dow's rejecting a little bit kind of off this level. Russell's trying to pull back to 90-60s. Yo, let's see. Oh, there it goes. Now it works. We got 90.60s on a pullback. We traded 91.40 so far. There you go, Tehran. That should be Gucci now. All right, NASDAQ, decent little pullback there to 294s. We're kind of developing that like 15-minute 1, 2, 3 here. We got about 3 minutes to go. I would like a shimmy under 294s. Like if we could do something here, this bar closes like right in here, 310, 315. We got like 3 minutes, 2 minutes and change for that to like kind of happen. And then we can dip down under this one more time with an aggressive or more aggressive type of move here in this market. Maybe that doesn't happen, but all right, stay right here. Stay right here. Nope. Come back down a little bit. Stay right in through here. We did get a little bit of rejection here off opening print still for gold, so it's obviously still trying to settle in on that move, but silver here is back at opening print, trying to digest that move, I should say. Silver here back at opening print though, maybe wanting to get a little bit of love. It's just a bigger contract that I don't really feel like freaking wrangling with today. Like realistically. We have this like 15-minute 1, 2, 3 in place for NASDAQ. It's not picture perfect. We just made new highs on the day in NASDAQ. So far, only market to do so. I'm gonna wait for the shimmy. Like I think there's the potential we still do it. I don't have an entry here either way. Like unless I'm buying this 5-minute, which is like a 36-point stop for basically like a 70-point target. So it's like 2 to 1. I don't love that. Russell, of course, front ran the 90.60s there. We traded 91.40s, which is unfortunate for me. Sometimes you can love trading and it won't love you back, which is essentially this at the moment. We are right on direction. We had the timing right on that first initial weird low that was set. And then no entries at all. That's cool. That's cool. That's sweet. Are you still holding that Russell, Luke? Amazon at 225 or 235 burst. Ew. Probably 225 realistically. Market's up 220 points on the day, trying to rebound some of that move from yesterday, and Amazon is actually red on the day at the moment. Yeah, all right. That's still a nice trade though. It's a good move. Damn, silver dropped like $1. I'm glad I did not do anything there. That is. So I kind of feel like the move in gold overnight was partially like, and the timing could be a day or two off on this, but I feel like the gold move overnight is like the blow off top, even though I think it probably goes higher one more time. And like this is the move where silver is almost at $100, but doesn't quite make it there. And it's like essentially just trapping everybody that's trying to get this move long, because it's been rather choppy and kind of aggressive to the downside initially early on each day of the week so far. It could just be digesting some of the move, but that weekly chart is, excuse me, that weekly chart is quite extended. Quite extended. Right. NASDAQ couldn't quite make it to 404s here now, pulling back a little bit off those highs. This would be basically right back to that entry on the 5-minute which again was only a 2-to-1, so I wasn't super interested in taking that. I'm not too keen on like shorts at the moment either. But I could certainly see this. Kind of like yesterday, we erased the whole move. We don't really have any levels to work with, though, is the unfortunate part. Oh, that's actually really pretty off AMD. Earnings in there, 2, 3. AMD honestly kind of looks like a swing through earnings at this point. I mean, it's up 6.58% today, which makes it kind of tough to do anything with, but like looking out into February earnings, stuff like that, you could go into month February. The 300 calls are like $3.65, which granted is a large move. Let me see what the butterfly looks like in here. Maybe go like 275, 325, something like that. No, we don't have 325s? No, 320. $1.45. It's not terrible. I wouldn't necessarily want to hold shares on a swing through earnings in there, but the option side of things probably isn't too bad. If you're into some like longer dated stuff, it's a nice clean break here today in AMD. Russell's pulling back to this 90-60s. Nice. Good work, dude. Which ones do you have? 0 DTEs? What, 610s probably? That's a nice move. 610 years. Russell's sitting right on this level. I don't know what it's doing at the moment, though. Everything else, well, I say everything else, NASDAQ specifically is still trying to rally here. It's pulling back a little deeper than I would like it to. Tesla's in an interesting little spot here as well. 426.25 breaks. And she's got some room to rally yet still. Kind of had a feeling NASDAQ would turn that bar around. Entries for me are tough today, unfortunately. Russell's back up through it now. Kind of feel like I'm almost being a little bit gun shy as well at the same time. That low's 87.50, so we're about 4 points off that low at the moment. I'm going to give this, we got another like 20, 30 seconds here. We'll get this first hour of the day out of the way. And then potentially look for a Russell entry in here. Highs up to 26.99.90s. Gives us plenty of room. I mean, we have plenty of room for a target here. And the Russell is not going to recheck 90.60s again now. NASDAQ is about to trade that 404. for target area. 401.50s traded there. Dow made equal highs there so far. NASDAQ traded 405 quarters there, just a 1 point push up through that level. Russell here, we got back through, we closed, we did the whole thing. So I was kind of looking to see if we'd recheck 90/60s. Again, that little secondary kind of entry, unfortunately not looking like that's going to happen either. Yeah, I think AMD is a swing. I think AMD is a swing for probably a rather large move, realistically. These contracts today have gone nuts so far, even far out. I mean, granted, the stock's up like 7.5%, so it makes sense, but it's crazy the level of aggressiveness we're seeing specifically in the NASDAQ. I mean, we're up 294 points here at this point. I'm open, and it's going to be a little bit crazy. I'm open to a 404 quarter pullback, retest, the whole thing, right? For longs, our targets would be 493 quarters, and then from there, it's potentially wherever. Again, I wasn't ruling out the idea of a long on the day. I just thought we probably needed to go lower first, and maybe we did in the pre-market session, and that was enough. I mean, total range on the day now is like 400 points. Am I seeing that right? Right? My math is right on that. We've got a 401 point range. That's a late $8,000 per contract. Yeah, what a move here. The April reversal of tariff news on the first hourly candle is 250 today. First hourly candle 256. Yeah, kind of seems that way. I do think it was rather difficult to try and capture if you're looking for the cute tight entry, some type of shimmy, etc. like that. Obviously, we just haven't had that, which is my preferred type of entry here, and that definitely makes it a little tough. Definitely makes it a little tough. Oh, you caught this, Osborne? You dirty dog. Dirty dog, you. I don't see the time on this. Where'd you get in? That's a nice move. Hopefully we can chill for just a minute out of NASDAQ. Like there's certainly a lot. I mean, imagine if we were able to make the move back up into like 670s. If we come from 404s and we can make that move, that would be impressive. By the way, appreciate all of you that are tuning in. If you could give me a thumbs up on the video, would be greatly appreciated. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. AMD going absolutely nuts. Yeah, no, I see them. I see him. NASDAQ. Oh, NASDAQ. This is honestly one of the literal worst parts about trading is not getting your entry into a move like this, and it's like, cool. What do we do now? Russell's up to essentially new highs on the day. This would be like that first target area if you took an entry off 90s, 60s. You took it at 10:10. You took the little 2 minute that I was looking at for a shimmy. Nice. Osborne's having himself a day. Three tens, give or take, for you. Well, at least somebody is catching it. It's not me at the moment, but maybe it's the music choice. I went with a totally new track this morning. Maybe that's what it is. I might just be twiddling thumbs here waiting for a pullback at NASDAQ. The 404s isn't that far away. It's 50 points lower. If we can get a pullback for that, then I would be down to be able to do something. Hopefully we can get an entry. There's room to 69.33s here for S&Ps. I kind of sound like a broken record here though with this NASDAQ move. What's even worse, I don't even know if it's worse, just something else in addition to this is like the ticks have been like plus 600 to legitimately like minus 300. We haven't gotten super aggressive in any way, shape, or form. Like at all. Those AMD options are going absolutely nuts. What a move. What a move. Gold kind of looks like it's trying to find a bit of a bottom down here and kind of round this out and come back up. I'm interested if we can get back up over opening print up here, 69.60s. Which again, we're gonna have to be patient and let that happen, but this NASDAQ 5-minute chart is absolutely absurd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 5-minute bars straight up. All right, Luke. Good work, dude. Good work. NASDAQ just continues to move. Nasdaq almost traded that upper level there. 493s. If we can still pull back without trading 493s, then I'm interested. We can do it without testing the level first. Yeah, there's a lot of individual names getting moves. Meta, Tesla, AMD, obviously, Nvidia now. Nasdaq's about to go ahead and test that 493s. Intel, like INTC. Excuse me. Oh yeah, it had a decent little rally this morning too, huh? Oh, they had earnings. No, they don't have. They have earnings after the bell tomorrow. That's interesting. Nasdaq just front ran the level. Don't get my hopes up, baby girl. Come on back down here at 404s. Come on back down here. Cold shoulder, closing time. Begging me to stay. I will let Nasdaq have this move today, if it can just pull back, I won't be upset. But like we won't have problems. We'll be okay if you can pull back to 404s and give me an entry. That's all I ask. It's not a big ask. 60 points lower. That's it. That's all you got to do. And then if you fail from there, I don't necessarily care. Just at least give me an entry. Just give me a shot. That's all I ask. Google, nice little move too there. I don't think NASDAQ will do it for us, but that move is 296 points. All right. Anybody have any questions? 11 o'clock. NASDAQ's been, well, markets in general, straight up here off the rip so far today. Buc-ee's is planning to build its first Nebraska location. In Gretna. Where is Gretna? It's got to be outside of Omaha, right? Hmm. NASDAQ just hanging out right up here by these highs. Meta, Tesla, Google even, all those still continuing to push. Unfortunately, I don't know that there's anything really to do there. You're gonna spy 690s. I'm not sure if it fills that gap today. Spy 690s. Whoa. That'd be a big move. That would be a big move. If it does work, it's gonna be actually pretty magnificent for you, but that is a rather large move. Let me see. 690s for today. They're currently like 3 cents. I don't actually hate that in the NASDAQ. So it'd be like NASDAQ 620s basically. No, those are like 12 cents. So yeah, SPY is definitely a little bit better. And that NASDAQ's a little bit stronger, but SPY is better from a risk reward, a little cheaper. Can I tell NASDAQ to chop the rest of the day and fill that gap tomorrow? I mean, the problem is we just have to see if we create any levels today or kind of how that unfolds, because if we don't, we honestly could reverse tomorrow and go back to 941s. I mean, essentially, we're kind of shaping up to look similar to yesterday, just outside of the fact that we had that bar, or we had that to trade into today. You know what I mean? Like take a take another 2-3 hours off the day here, and if we're back down at 196s, that's a totally different picture on that chart. We front ran this 493 so far, which we did not trade either in the overnight session when we gapped down Sunday night. So we haven't traded it like at all this week. We haven't traded 493s. That is actually the high. Yeah, the highs were right around 470s. So we just traded through essentially what was overnight highs from Sunday night. Market doesn't really seem to want to give us that larger pullback that we would like, but I am remaining patient for it. Did you catch longs in your take profit trader account, Osborne? Did you grab it there too? Even a micro NASDAQ today would have been, I mean, it's 270 points here from the open. What was that, 540 bucks a contract? It's a big move. It's a rather large move. Oh, shucks. Oh, nice. I might have to I might have to get some freaking like heat tape, like cables and stuff for my palm trees with this weather coming up. Nasdaq might pull back for us. You're saying you lost 50% of your account yesterday? That might be a little bit aggressive. Nasdaq rallying back. Nasdaq gonna go right up to the 493s. Kind of tease this. Look like it's gonna get that pullback. All right. Well, there's 493 quarters for Nasdaq. S&P's was close to that 68.95.50s there. Where'd you try shorting at? I mean, unless you tried off 493s like just now. Oh, the Dow divergence. I could see that. I could see that. Not my favorite trade, but no, it was. It was a big stop. I talked about that one. I talked about that Russell trade. I mean, I wouldn't feel bad because I'm sitting here just kind of chilling at the moment. So Nasdaq stuck between 493s and 404s now. Gold looking like it wants to pull back here. Silver kind of same thing, rejecting there now. Russell's going to be back at 90-60s here soon. Part of me thinks you could try a Nasdaq short from up here. Stops would be about 75. It'd be a wild little trade. I'm going to try a very, very small piece here. Nasdaq short stops over 75 quarters. It's about 25 points. All right, let's put my stop loss in. We really need under 47s there. We couldn't quite get it just yet. So I'm torn between that and what I think honestly is potentially a trade here as well. Yeah, I like the GC idea as well. I think it needs to get up over opening print, which obviously doesn't give us a ton of room for the move up to those highs, those overnight untested highs, but I think it would also be a pretty decent trade if it could do that. So I set alerts up over 69s. The other trade in which I'm watching here would be the S&Ps for a long off of 95.50s here. So I'm conflicted because I could see NASDAQ pulling back and trading the 404s, but at the same time I can also see, my charts are slow for some reason, I can see the S&Ps holding this 95.50s, which we just front ran. So I'm going to kind of let that have its little moment. But the big thing I like about the NASDAQ short idea, and this is the thing, yes, we are totally against the trend, all of the things. Let's not get that mixed up here. Maybe. Here we go. Thank you. This is the thing in which I'm kind of thinking here. So our entry price is right here at 25,451. Stop loss, which might get hit, 25,476. our target is going to be 24,941. Why? Okay. So I'm kind of looking at it, I'm like this, where it's like, okay, yeah, we can risk 25 points here. Yes, we're not technically over the level, so it could retest all the things. I get it. We're in a super strong uptrend, yada, yada, yada. Got it all. But if we do make the move from here down to 941 and we do something similar to yesterday, I don't know that that's going to happen, right? But if we were to do that, this would turn into a 20.4 risk reward ratio on this trade. So I kind of can't like pass that up. I get that it's super tight and all the things. And it probably doesn't work. But at the end of the day, I almost have to give that a shot. Even with like a fraction of a position size, it just doesn't make sense to not let that have its opportunity to shine. Now, I'm not like getting super excited and being like, yeah, I'm going to make 20 R's because I realize this trade has a high failure rate potentially. But if it works, it's a fun one. Which would essentially put the QQQs at like whatever this level is down here. I don't even think I have it marked yet. Like 602s, 604s, I don't even know. Yeah, I should, but if it's gonna work, then we don't need it. There's an idea here in gold if you want it for the long attempt. Eric was mentioning it earlier, potential for that to hold in here and make the move. I don't think it's terrible. It's 2-minute entry right in through here. He said I'm short. I mean, good luck. Good luck on it. And S&Ps did just trade those 95.50s, so we very easily here could take that stop, which we just did. Again, that's the thing we were fighting. We were going to fight the S&Ps coming off those 95.50s. And it might work if I would have used 94s. We don't know yet, but 95.50s here so far is holding. What's my thoughts on CL? Let's take a look. I haven't looked at crude today. $60. It's had a decent little move off those lows, 54 to 60s. Thoughts on CL to pre-market highs. They could hold opening print here. I don't know that it's necessarily my favorite thing after the move from yesterday. I feel like it probably kind of chills for a minute. I don't know. Give me just a minute. I'm gonna take a quick walk. I took a little stop on the Nasdaq trade there. But yeah, I'll be right back. All right, so my NASDAQ idea is certainly working, but definitely trailed me out there by 2 points, which is also really unfortunate. So I want to put some NASDAQ on. I was really trying to get like these 605 puts. I should have done it up there when we were 8 cents. I'm just trying to figure out what is the ratio between NASDAQ points and QQQ. So we did $8.76 range today. We're at 365 points of a range today. So it's a little more than 2 to 1. So if we got 360 points to go yet, that should be another $8 down for QQQ, right? Which would put us at like 603s. Is that what I'm basically seeing? Nice. Appreciate you, Joe. I'm gonna let this market rally back. I'm not gonna put this on just yet. Yeah, it doesn't show yet. I think they're having an issue with that still. A little bit of NASDAQ move. Are you gonna trade them on TradingView then? Did you get 150K instant funded, or did you go Eval? Nice. Joe's talking about top one. They just raised their drawdown max loss limit to 4% as opposed to 3%. I think they're actually the only ones that do that at the moment. I'll drop a link if you guys want to go check them out. NASDAQ is dropping again. $603 puts are 15 cents here. We've dropped 200 points since that NASDAQ entry we tried to take there with a 25-point stop. It's just super unfortunate. Like you can't make that up. Like legitimately cannot make that up. $603 puts, they're 14 cents. I grabbed a couple of them. I know we're like super far down. I probably should have grabbed them up further for sure. What do you mean it doesn't work for the elite? The one-step elite challenge? That's weird. Hmm. Well, that's interesting. I'll hit him up about that. All right. I think that might be it for me this morning. I've got that NASDAQ position on. I'm kind of watching gold down here. I don't really know that I want to really wrangle with that at the moment. Silver didn't quite get that same drop that we did just now out of gold. different. I guess we could see gold get a decent rally back, but I think the bigger play is going to be NASDAQ. I'm trying to take these options from like 12, 13, 14 cents down in here where they're currently at for NASDAQ. My charts are slow as molasses. I don't know about anybody else's, but mine at the moment are extremely slow. There we maybe. Holy cow. There we go. Yeah, those lows 25.098. So we'll set these lows 25.09775s. And then I'm just going to set some alerts and then walk away. I should have done this at the top and it probably cost me a little bit, but I mean, if we make the move, it probably doesn't matter realistically. And then what's the target area down here? 941s. Let me see where that's coming from. I'm gonna try and get a better price on where I think the actual QQQs go. Yeah, I did the 0 DTEs. Right now I'm in the 603 puts. At or below 941 quarters. Let me see if we can get QQQ pricing. Russell making new lows on the day. That's actually really surprising. Yeah, I mean, I think we're like essentially like 602s. So at 602s, that probably did cost me. Those 605s were 8 cents. They're 29 cents now. Man, it'll be all right. So yeah, I'm gonna try and take these 603s. Let's see what it says we could get for them. This could actually move really quickly. So if NASDAQ gets to, call it 602, It might actually go to like $2. See what the 611s are currently trading for. $1.60. Yeah, we'll see if we can get like $1.25 to $1.50. Russell did make new lows though, so we could set a divergence here and kind of stall out. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we end up making the move all the way down. And potentially trade those 941s. NASDAQ still making that move. I'm going to get ready to roll out here in a couple minutes. But it looks like NASDAQ might make the move. All right. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here for today. I still got the Q puts on, so I'm just going to let that kind of do its thing, and hopefully we can work lower. Like I said, there's some targets down there that would be really nice to hit. I'm a little bit upset that we didn't get we got dinged out of there by 2 points for the short in which we had on NASDAQ futures, which was like literally perfect except for our stops were at 476s and it needed a test of 478s, which is like just super unfortunate there because that would be a phenomenal move. It was about 20-1 risk reward ratio if we got down into the lower level where we're kind of targeting at. So we're at opening print now. Given the move, we just sold off 250 points there. I think we got about another 250 points to go, a little bit more than that, right? So that would put us down there into that 941 area. Certainly doable in the day. We're up 78 points. So we could definitely see that kind of happen here. Would make some sense. Silver, my charts are slow. Silver looks to just be kind of digesting this area here still. Gold, kind of same thing. Like we've had the idea of maybe we long this down here, you know, and try and hold it for overnight highs, 48.91s. It just doesn't seem to be working yet, and that's where you just I put the rule in, like until we get back up over opening print. Like there's just no, I don't know that there's a real advantage to trying to pick that bottom at the moment. So I'm okay with just kind of waiting in there and letting that, you know, do its thing or whatever. But yeah, I mean, unless NASDAQ gets that breakdown, there's really not going to be much else to do here. And who's got anybody inputs with me? Like anybody take anything to the downside? What's that looking like? Took the 602s. Okay, nice. What do I have? I got the 603s, right? Yeah. You got some Q puts with me? Nice. Sweet. Also, I'm going to drop one more link in here for you guys. I believe this sale, I think Tradeify has a 40% off right now. And I believe that expires today. Yeah. You got one micro short. Hey, I mean, if you got one micro short from up there where we were talking about, that's 250 plus points here at this stage of the game. I don't want to step away just yet because market's still like kind of dropping here right in our faces. With 61s. Um, I really, really would like to have my freaking Nasdaq futures from up there, but I don't have them at the moment. So imagine, imagine we caught the long this morning and then flipped short up there at 493s and then caught that to the downside. Like, if that was good, that's what we would have done. That was not good today. Although we got contracts that are up about 300% here at the moment. So these contracts are now 37 cents. Yeah, no, it's moving for sure. We're about to crack lows here. I want to go ahead and put some orders. All right, I put some orders in on these 603s that I have to exit some at 99 cents and to exit some more at $1.49. Again, just looking to see if we can't get that big move to the downside there and make something happen. All right, I'm gonna roll. We got that on. We'll just let it do its thing. We almost cracked those lows there just a couple minutes ago. Looks like S&Ps did crack those lows. Dow is the Dow and Nasdaq are the last two to potentially do so. I don't know if it'll be super. I don't know if it'll be super easy. Maybe is the word to use there. But yeah, I mean, we just dropped. What total range in this last hour is 318 points. So we basically, I mean, we got a 365 point range on the day. We basically gave all of that back inside the last like 50 minutes here. So yeah, I don't see any reason why we can't finish that move. Like I said, I've got a little bit of risk going for it to happen, and that's gonna essentially be it. If I did still have some futures, I would be looking to take some of those off probably with a 260 point drop. That's realistically probably the smart thing to do. So do with that information what you will, but I don't have those, so I can't necessarily say I'm going to do or not do anything with them now at this point. But yeah. Anyway, that's what I got. I'll check back in a little bit. I got alert set for down there, so I'll be in the chat. And I think we're making a run to the grocery store and doing all the things that other people are doing to try and prepare for a potential week-long catastrophe of ice and all those things. So, yeah. Mm, mm. So, anyways, that's what I got. I'll check back in with you guys a little bit later on. Don't get into any trouble here. We got big ranges. So far at the moment on the day. So I would not be surprised if that continues this week, which is going to be super unfortunate because Friday I'm out. But tomorrow should be a great stream, a little guest stream appearance on someone else's channel. So I'll be sure to post that in the Discord as well. But yeah, that's where we'll be. So, anyways, appreciate you guys, and I'll check back in a little bit.